The short answer is no. In theory, they are opposites, but since neither really exists, neither exist in reality, I would argue that they have a lot more in common than you would think. Now, politicians, especially in America, will tell you otherwise, but anyone who has worked for a company in a market economy knows that planning is part of what they have to do. And that's the same with any state organization, city, state, or the federal government. There's budget planning and there's project planning. More importantly, there's no such thing as a really free market. State regulation of market economies does everything from protect your health to protect you from fraud, from market manipulation. And this is really important, and it's a very, it's a key safeguard for most people. And I think that people who think about free markets just forget these kinds of things. Not only that, but the state creates public goods, such as education, clean air and water, social security, and in places like West Germany, and now unified Germany, universal health insurance. I'd add to all this that size matters. The state is the largest actor in the market economy. It creates infrastructure that reduces costs for businesses. A case in point would be roads, bridges, and waterways. If companies had to build and maintain those, then at the end of the year, their balance sheets would look terrible. They'd be in an enormous amount of debt. So if we think about the state in a market economy, it's doing all sorts of things to subsidize companies and to support them. But let's turn it around. Big companies also have a kind of power to set prices that you as an individual do not. So even when it's not a near monopoly like Amazon, the individual consumer is often powerless against companies. So thinking about the market and thinking about freedom is, I think, a limiting way to think about how economic activity functions. And we could even think then about the GDR for a second and how they tried to ban markets, but actually markets were still operative there. They try to ban them and they fail. In fact, the last dictator made things even worse. He tried to control black markets by making them quasi-official. And by the 1980s, even factories were willing to trade with each other on the black market and use Western currency to buy the things that they needed to make socialist goods. The problem with black markets is that they involved anti-socialist values, money, profit motives, and trade that cut out the state. So there's simply no way to talk about free markets or economic planning as if they're opposed to each other. They're both interrelated.